Greetings, wastelanders. Welcome to my channel. This video will be dedicated to bloodied builds for beginners. If you have been thinking about making a bloodied build, or are interested in learning how to start making one, then this video is for you. I have spent a lot of time researching this topic and have watched countless videos as well, but I have yet to find a video that is designed with beginner bloodied builds in mind. Most only cover in-game bloodied builds that require maxed out legendary perks and perfectly rolled weapons and Secret Service armor. And while it is true that these items are the ultimate goal, I'm going to show you that they are not necessary to get started. Before I get started, let me state that all of the information provided in this video are my opinions based on my experiences and observations in this game. I do not know, nor will I claim to know, all of the absolute best avenues for creating a bloody build. So, if you have differing information that will help people more effectively, please feel free to comment down below for others to see. Together, we can find the best ways to help newer players achieve their desired results more efficiently. There are a few assumptions that I will be taking to make this video. Number 1. You are at least level 50. It is definitely true that you are capable of making a bloody build prior to level 50. However, I generally do not recommend it. The maximum level of gear in Fallout 76 is 50. So unless you want to continuously upgrade and re-roll your lower level gear, it is best to wait until you have level 50 gear to start a bloodied build. And I feel like this applies not only to bloody builds, but to all builds in this game. If you are below level 50, your main focus should be getting to level 50 as fast as possible. That being said, if you would like a video covering leveling up fast, leave a comment down below. There are many videos available on this subject, but I can make one nevertheless. The second assumption is that you have the appropriate perk cards available. I will go over this in more detail later. Number 3, you are completely fine and at peace with dying more frequently than other builds. If you get easily frustrated with dying, then a bloodied build probably isn't for you. Number 4, you have enough caps to buy starter gear. You will need about 3,000 caps for basic gear. If you need help making caps, leave a comment down below, and I can make a video explaining how to accumulate caps quickly. These are all the assumptions I will be making for this video. So, why would anyone want to make a bloody build in the first place? There are several reasons for and against making one. Some of the reasons for making one include excellent damage output, boosted special stats, except for endurance, no need for power armor and all that entails, leveling up much faster, superior carry weight capacity, and pretty decent perk card options. A few of the negatives to this build include low health, which also includes managing radiation levels, a lot more deaths, relatively poor radiation resistance, the need for specific perk cards and armor to function properly, and the fact that most are built around stealth. That final piece is not necessary, but it does provide the most optimal damage output and survival. With all of that out of the way, what do you need to actually get started? The answer to this is pretty simple. You will need a set of unyielding armor. I recommend at least 4 out of 5 pieces. It does not matter what the pieces are either. In fact, I would even be so bold as to say the level of the items really does not matter either. Remember, we are just looking to get started. The better, upgraded gear will come later. For those of you that are unaware, Unyielding is a legendary modifier on armor that boosts all special stats except for endurance by up to +3 based on how low your health is. 20% health is the perfect spot to get your +3 on all pieces. This means that you could receive a +15 if you have a full set of 5 equipped. It is this armor that makes Bloodied builds so powerful. You are going to need specific perk cards at your disposal. There are 4 that I find essential to the build, and they are Nerd Rage, Blocker, Fire Resistance, and Serendipity. There are others that I highly recommend as well. Your damage perks, such as Commando cards for automatic rifles, Rifleman for semi-auto rifles, Heavy Gunner, and so on. I will run them across the screen really quick for your reference. I also highly recommend some survivability perks, such as Dodgy, Suppressor, Evasive, Barbarian, Escape Artist, etc. I will also run these across the screen. And finally, there are several quality of life perks that I highly recommend, such as ones affecting carry weight, Bandolier, Traveling Pharmacy, Batteries Included, Strong Back, and so forth. I also recommend Starch Jeans and Class Freak to aid your mutations. If you do not have mutations, you definitely want to get some. I can show you how to get mutations in a separate video if necessary. Comment down below if you would find that type of video helpful. It should go without saying, but you will also want a decent weapon. While not necessary, if you can get your hands on a weapon with Bloodied, 2-shot, or anti-armor, it would be a big plus. Bloodied trumps almost everything for damage output. The other legendary mods do not really matter for starting out. Stick to the basics and move up from there. If you can't find a Bloodied weapon, don't sweat it. Any gun will work with this build. It just might not be the most optimal. For those of you that do not know, Bloodied is a legendary modifier on a weapon that says damage increases as health decreases. That being said, you will obviously need low health for this build to function. As I mentioned before, 20% health is the sweet spot. Basically, you want to radiate yourself until Nerd Rage procs. So, you will need a way to manage your radiation levels. I can make a separate video detailing ways to manage your radiation levels if you guys would find that helpful. Let me know in the comments below. The final item to discuss is mutations. While you can make this build without them, I strongly suggest that you do not. There are far too many good mutations available to pass up. I find the following mutations to be absolutely necessary for this build: Adrenal Reactions, Marsupial, Bird Bones, Herd Mentality, Speed Demon, and Scaly Skin. I also recommend Grounded if you are not using energy weapons, Healing Factor if you are not heavily reliant on chems, Twisted Muscles if you are a melee build, Eagle Eyes if you are a crit build, and Egghead if you want to level up faster. Either carnivore or herbivore are handy as well, but not necessary. If you need help with mutations, let me know in the comments and I can make a video covering those. Now that you have a rough idea of what you need for this build, what is the fastest way to get the necessary items? Remember the 3,000 cap minimum assumption we made earlier? This is where that comes into play. By far, one of the fastest ways to acquire the gear you need is to visit player vendors and buy the items. You can hop from one server to another and see what people have available. Any unyielding armor will do. Try to find the cheapest gear for sale. You can usually find a piece of unyielding gear for around 600 caps. Generally speaking, I wouldn't buy weapons from player vendors, but you should still take a look. You may just find a good deal. If you need a fixer, I can currently craft them for you if you provide the materials. You will have to roll it and get lucky though. If you are not aware, the fixer is arguably one of the best automatic rifle weapons in the game. It pairs well with the commando perks. If you are wanting mutation serums, do not buy them from the Enclave. They will be much cheaper at player vendors. I wouldn't spend more than 500 caps for each. I personally sell them for 375 caps at my camp. I am working on collecting all of the serum recipes, but I do have a good portion of them at the moment. Another option for gear is to buy single-star legendaries of armor and weapons from the purveyor at the Rusty Pick. I will show his location on the map. For those of you who are unaware, you can scrap your junk legendaries for a currency called Legendary Script at the Legendary Exchange. This script can be used to buy legendary modules for crafting or random legendary gear from the purveyor. A 1-star legendary piece of armor only costs 15 script. You can keep buying some until you get a piece of unyielding armor. You can do the same for weapons, but they cost 25 script. I wouldn't worry about 2 or 3-star legendaries until you have a full set of unyielding. The same goes for weapons. Try for a 1-star bloodied weapon that you like. Be patient. This will take some time unless you are really lucky. The third and final option for acquiring gear is to craft them yourself and roll legendary modifiers until you get what you want. This will take a lot of time and script to do, but it may be the fastest way to get your last piece of unyielding armor. I would start with player vendors, then roll 1-stars at the Rusty Pick, then craft the remaining necessary items yourself. If you need more assistance with this, please comment down below and I would be more than happy to give you a hand. As far as perks are concerned, acquiring the necessary ones is easiest once you attain level 50. From that point forward, you can look through all the perks available and pick the must-have ones. As I mentioned before, grab Nerd Rage, Blocker, Fireproof, and Serendipity as soon as you can. From there, it is up to you to decide what perks you find to be the most useful. There is definitely a lot of variation in terms of opinions on this subject. As far as legendary perks are concerned, I put all of mine towards special stats. You may choose to do what you see is fit. One final tip I will mention is to save your gold bullion. The Secret Service armor available from Regs at Vault 79 is by far the best non-power armor in the game. Buy the crafting plans from him as soon as you are able. You might also get lucky and find them cheaper from Minerva during one of her sales. If you do not have a clue who Regs or Minerva is, do not panic. I can always make a separate video detailing those NPCs if you would find that useful. Let me know in the comments below. And that about sums up the entirety of starting a Bloodied build. Remember, get yourself a set of unyielding armor, pick up Nerd Rage, Blocker, Fireproof, and Serendipity. Get your hands on the mutations Adrenal Reactions, Marsupial, bird bones, herd mentality, speed demon, and scaly skin as soon as you are able. Buy or craft a decent bloodied weapon. Get your health to 20% using rads, and go out and have some fun. You will be wreaking havoc on the wastelands in no time. I spent a lot of time on this video, so if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you see something I missed, please comment it down below to help others out. With that, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.